It is currently 5:24, not AM, PM. 5:24 PM, your favorite time of the day. Not necessarily. Or could it simply not resist giving me the correct time again? After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. Now I'm curious on how accurate 5:24 is. Let's use another slider to find out. How accurate is 5:24? Well, considering the fact that it's 5:25 now, I'd say it's pretty darn accurate. You know, can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I may have a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I am learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's all good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders. We've gone through all the slides I have. Perhaps I invent some new sliders to gather some new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah. Let me whip out a couple of new ones. Should be ready next time you boot up the game. Okay, so interestingly enough, we're now...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so in the last episode we talked about how we would discover what this new content door is. So I don't think there's anything I'm missing. I think we covered all that in the last part. From what I'm thinking, I might be wrong. Then again, I probably shouldn't have waited to make a new one for so long. But
new content?
Here we go.
What does that mean, new content?
Guess we're figuring it out as we go.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
It is now
After receiving
2024
critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Hooray!
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Me too. Let's see what it is.
So far, it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Hello? Is it...
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Oh, I'm facing the wrong side.
All right.
What?
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Press space to jump. Is it really just jumping? Love that. Okay. Was that it?
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator.
So far it's
Stanley,
just
I have to say,
elevators
initial
and jumping.
impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping.
See,
Is this what
that's
passes
what I
for
mean.
exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's
Again.
see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Again, I was facing the wrong area.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Okay. Well, what is it about? Because that wasn't much. Or maybe that's the what the? I hate me too. What? It's a picture of the office.
Psst! Stanley!
What?
Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Okay, hold on for a second though. I want to see what's up here.
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
Hey! For that comment, I'm going. Right? Oh, it's locked? Okay, well, I guess it just led us back to the office, so let's go to... Oh. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, guess we'll figure this out. Okay, let's...
Stanley!
I found myself
Come
in the
over
vent
here.
again.
In the vent!
I'm coming.
I want to show you something.
What does that say? Is it coffee nut? Okay.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
What you got here, narrator?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release?
Is that the
Remember
Steam
back
Workshop?
in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
It's just like another museum. Except it's displaying the first game's release. I don't remember playing it. Yeah, pretty much. The unachievable, it's possible. Oh, okay. Even with achievements, I'm sure there's somebody out there that has pretty much gotten everything. What do we got here?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Well, to be honest, that's debatable. Between it's every game ever made. That's a big claim you're making. I mean, it's a good
another
game.
moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
The smiley face. Oh. I see.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
Yeah. Wait, is that... Why is a picture of Minecraft there? Is that an Easter egg?
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Yeah, you'd think, but some people could be harsh. Anyway.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny.
Oh, jeez.
I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Interesting. So now he's starting to get out to the darker part, or the one discovers that I don't know, not everybody likes everything you make, which is also okay. It's a little interesting on, kind of cool on how they incorporated this into. They kind of put it in and then made fun of it.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. To be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't.
The graphics are kind of nice. I like
what
that.
an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
What's
What's
this?
this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable.
Whoa.
That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
I don't mind listening.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for.
That's not
and
the
I'm
time
very
that I
proud
inserted
to
it
have
at the
delivered.
beginning.
No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to
102 or
shut
something
up.
like that.
Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once.
Should I skip?
So, now you see, blah, 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 blah.
I'm gonna skip.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more
If he's talking about
profound
time skipping, I'm
ruminations. Not that, of course,
kind of
you
paying
need a
attention to the
description of
clock,
it, but if I had
seeing
to
how much
describe
time
it,
is passing.
I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise.
Skip.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The
What?
minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of
Okay, so about
self-absorption,
10
it's right
minutes
at your
past.
fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over.
Like alternating
How
one's
about
perspective, kind of like how
from the ashes of
YouTube removed the
rises
dislike
the
button.
phoenix of quality.
Okay. Wait, did he stop his monologue? Did we skip over it? Yes,
Okay,
he did.
welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
About, yeah.
It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it?
It's a long time to
I
talk.
do suggest that we not press the...
Skip.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
No, jeez.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's
Oh, wait.
completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again.
Should I press it again?
I can't control anything.
gonna press it again.
Stanley, I can't touch it. And I have... Oh, Stanley, you're back.
Whoa.
You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I
What
think
time
it's
is it?
been a week.
I can't tell.
Or
It's
2
too dark.
weeks. I've been sitting here all that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me
I said
just talking?
dark.
It isn't, Stanley.
Like the
It
room's
isn't
changing
same
along
at
with it.
all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me.
Skip.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one
been a
place
year?
and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities.
Oh, the plant's
I felt
gone.
nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur
And the clock
of the
stopped.
deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun
Probably 'cause
to
they ran out of
subside,
batteries. That's good
what took its place
attention
is
to
what
detail.
I could only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant,
Skip. And now he's not even gonna talk. He's there? Okay. It's starting to get a little weird. What the heck? What fire alarm's going off? That's an... Wait, the clock's out. Well, that's annoying. Let's get out.
but they didn't understand the game
Oh,
was
he's
never
back.
meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of coherence.
I think he's going crazy. The narrator. Maybe he's letting the negative comments influence him. It's a little too much.
The end is never the end, is never the end.
Yeah, he's definitely crazy.
Is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Yeah. Why do I hear running water? What the? The sink's leaking. Or the ceiling is leaking. That's a lot of water damage. Okay. Let's push the button again. Whoa! It's like it got destroyed. Look at that. And some plants are starting to bleed through just a little bit. Like an earthquake or tornado come through the building? What happened? Skip. Hey, sunshine. You can see it a little bit better. Ah, jeez, the lighting in this game is really good. I hear a fly. Skip. Whoa. Life emerges. It's kind of cool. Skip. Up, and it's gone. Well, this is creepy. Let me get out. Yeah, no thanks. Whoa. What the? The skip button broken? Ah, shoot. How did I get here? I'm just supposed to start walking? Maybe? Oh. Well, I don't know what the heck that was about, but... Okay. And we're back in our normal office. Alright, well... Sure.
All of
Why
his
not?
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Did I? What the... There's all kinds of weird things that are popping up that I just haven't noticed. Maybe they've already been there before, but... And new content. Wait, no, that says new content.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign.
I did.
Yes,
It's pretty
I
hard
have
to miss.
something very exciting to show you.
Yeah, well, that's what you said last time. It wasn't that great. Okay.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be.
See, he gets it.
The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
2, huh?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all
And
the
it's
new
never the
territory
end.
we'll cover
Again.
with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Right.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and
Dwarf.
innovation and long-term franchising potential.
This guy must says, "Don't talk to me before I've had the sequel." My sequel. It's funny. Like people say, "Don't talk to me before I've had my coffee."
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game
Sequels are
development is
good.
much more of a fuzzy magic
Portal
than
2,
anything
Half-Life 2,
scientific or
Batman Arkham
logical,
Asylum
really.
2, or City. Destiny 2, Doom 2, Tune, Return of Jafar, Dark Souls. There's so many Easter eggs in this game. It's kind of funny. Makes me laugh. It's kind of funny. Let's this way to the show floor. Whoa. It's kind of cool. New features. Is it this way? Maybe. Okay, am I just...
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Let's start here, I guess.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the
Too
first
big,
and
too
most
small.
obvious
Just
answer
right.
is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Is he gonna say my name?
Jim.
That is not my name.
I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Okay, so, imagine I am just born. I am a 6-ounce baby boy named Jim. Jim goes to school every day once he grows up to the right age. Goes to school, makes new friends, says hello. Hi, Jim. Nice to meet you, Jim. I am Jim. Then he comes home and plays this ridiculous game. Alright. I am Jim.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
I am a Jim. Who knows? Grows up, graduates high school, goes to college, gets a job as Jim in the career field. I am Jim. And then, sometime later in life, I retire as Jim, living in my nice house with a wife and a dog, also named Jim. Alright, I am a Jim.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time.
It's a
If
good one.
this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally
What?
drained
No.
from all of this personal... Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away.
Don't do that.
Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose
No.
all sense of who you actually are.
No, no. Now it's gone. Okay. I am out of the gym. I am now Colby again. Moving on. Let's see. That's kind of interesting and a little bit fun. But,
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
what if I did what I just did in that room, though? I imagine me as a Jim. Anyway. The epilogue. No screenshots, please. Okay. I was, is that an actual QR code? Hold on, let me grab my phone. Oh, no kidding. It's an actual website. So if you want, you can actually pull it up. It shows a video of the sequel. It's kind of interesting. But I'll let you guys do that on your own time if you'd like. Anyway, moving on. Let's start from the left and work my way back and then go to the right side. Let's do it there. Okay, what is up here? Collect them all. Can you find them? Can you find them? Probably. I don't know.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
That's a little freaky. I got one at 6. So is there 6 in them? 6 of them?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Like an achievement? Heck no, I like the achievements. Pull the lever, receive no more. Just one.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley.
Oh, come on.
But I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Fair enough,
What
but
else?
I'll make
what
the
other
best of
exhibits
it.
haven't we seen yet?
The jump circle. Didn't we just do that?
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
I did shoot.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
You're just gonna let me watch it? You're not gonna give me jumps? Lame. Oh well. No screenshots.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
It was someday or happy 12th birthday studies. Sure.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
But that's not the one I picked. What the...
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
What is this?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Okay.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Well, thank you.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I do feel reassured.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
I think the only thing left is this. I haven't checked out yet. I get to it though. What is the infinite hole? Unlikely, distant future, blah 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 blah. Okay. Open it. Yep. Yep. Is there a true thing
Stanley,
as
here's an
infinity?
idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Okay, here I go. I'm just gonna look up so I could
You see,
light.
isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Nah. I wanna
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
I wanna see how infinite this hole really is.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, Good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
I never said I was normal.
Things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite?
Mostly
If that works for
infinite.
you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't think there's anything up here for me, so...
Great.
to the top.
Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Should I jump back in? Let's jump back in.
Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much.
I do like holes.
A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Okay.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about.
One more time we
And I've had
go.
enough of the- Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
It's not working.
Teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
I'm trying.
Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Do you just fade out? What the heck? Am I just stuck here? What the? I'm moving? Is that what it looks like? I think I'm totally hallucinating. Hey! I like the other music. Look at that face. What the? I'm having too much fun with this.
Stanley? Stanley! Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
At least I got the comfort bucket to care shebang. Up, here we go. Oh. Well.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
I already did. What do you want from me? Well, since I've already kind of explored everything, I'm just gonna go to the exit. We will get out of here.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to?
I have.
Ready to move on now?
Yep. Out of here we go.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
What?
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
That's even worse.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh, look at that. It's a little interesting. But since this is a title screen, I'm actually going to end the video here. So that was part 2 of it. We'll see how part 3 goes, and then the next one, and what new stuff is incorporated. But if you did like this one, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll definitely see you in the next one. Hopefully it doesn't take me as long to make a new one, but here we are. See you next time.